Breathing inquiries. Let's begin by taking a moment to settle your body into a comfortable position. Lean slightly forward and back, to one side and then the other. And this will help you to find a comfortable balance when you come back to the center. And sitting comfortably, begin to notice your breathing without trying to alter it or make it in any way different. Just let your breath do what it will. And our breath is constantly rising and falling, ebbing and flowing, entering and leaving our body. Full body breathing is an extraordinary symphony of both powerful and subtle movements that massage our internal organs, and it is a full participation with life. And if you can be patient during these inquiries, you will find that the breath will magically open to you in the same way that knot falls open when you play with it patiently. And there is a very little between you and the magic this opening. To get general impression of your breathing, take a moment now to sense your breathing. As you ask yourself the following questions, wait for your answers to come through. Give yourself a minute or two to investigate each question. And let whatever perceptions you have come through without editing or analyzing them. You may want to record them for future reference. So let's start. Where do you feel your breathing? Can you feel where the movement of the breath originates? It might be that at first you may say that you feel nothing. Don't discount small movements or seemingly insignificant perceptions. It is all significant. Do you feel particular areas of your body where the breath is more noticeable? Around your abdomen, chest, or nostrils? Maybe throughout the rib cage. Do you notice your breathing around your shoulders or your breastbone? What does your breathing feel like? What is the quality of your breathing? It is rough, labored, jerky, or rhythmic. Does it feel smooth or mechanical? Take a note of whatever words or images arrive. And now we will look at the location of the breath. Where is the movement of the breath most noticeable? In the lower part of your body or in the upper part? Origin of the breath. Just as an earthquake has an epicenter that scientists can locate, your breath has epicenter too. Where does the movement of the breath begin? Frequency of the breath. Is your breath fast or slow, or somewhere in between? And you can count the number of breaths per minute. So 12 to 14 breaths per minute is considered normal rate. Phrasing of the breath. Is there noticeable difference between the length of your inhalation and exhalation? Or maybe they are equal? Texture of your breath. Is the texture of your breath smooth and even, or it is jerky and uneven? Depth of the breath. Does the breath feel deep or shallow? It might be quite appropriate for your breath to be quiet in the effortless rest position. So don't try to make your breathing more impressive during this question. Now we are moving to the next inquiry. Slowly begin to rest your attention on your inhalation and let your awareness travel down the length of an exhalation. And do this number of times, enjoying the sensation of the breath effortlessly leaving the body. And what do you find at the end of the exhalation? Did you feel the momentary pause that follows the end of the exhalation? This pause may be brief, a momentary hesitation, yet something very special happens in the pause. And do not try to make the pause happen or to extend it forcefully. Simply relax and let it happen. And as you surrender to the restfulness in the pause, you may find that it lengthened on its own accord. Trust that the next breath can arise out of the pause without you grabbing for it. And within this pause, there is no thought and no movement. You may experience it much like the silence you feel when you enter a forest. The new breath arises out of the pause. The next moment arises out of this pause. The inhalation is born out of the stillness of the pause, and the exhalation dissolves into it. This pause is, well, a resource that is always available to you. And know that at any time when you feel tired or confused, hurried or overwhelmed, you can draw from this well for rest or replenishment simply by entering the pause at the end of the out-breath. Without anticipating or projecting the outcome of the next moment, can you wait and see what the next breath brings? Let the chest be balanced over the center of your belly. Place your hands on your thighs, or if you're lying down, place your hands alongside your body with the palms facing upwards. And gently stretch the hands so the fingers are softly extended but not tensed. Then relax the hands and let the fingers curl inwards so your palms form slight hollow. Continue to rhythmically fold and unfold the hands, and continue for a few minutes in this way. Then begin to observe your breath. Do you notice any relationship between the movements of your hands and when you inhale and exhale? The movements of the hands stimulates the movement of the breath and determines the rhythm and the speed of the breath. And as your breath deepens on its own accord, it may start to feel as if the breath is causing the movement. The inhalation asks the hands to unfold, and the exhalation gently retrieves the fingers inward. And some people find this rhythm reversed, which is just fine. And notice your unique relationship with the breath. Is the breath causing the movement? Or is the movement causing the breath? Each is inseparably entwined with the other. Before we bring this practice to an end, you may want to make a mental or written notes about your whole experience or the way you're breathing now. The fundamental nature of the breath is that, like life, it is constantly changing. The breath oscillates, it rocks us to and fro, fills and empties up, expands and condenses. One of the easiest way to begin to perceive this natural flow of the breath is 1. To learn to recognize the basic movements in the body that are present during breathing, because movement tells you where the breath is moving and where it is not. So recognizing these movements is the first step in getting to know your breath. When the challenges of life seems too great to handle, or things are not going as smoothly as we planned, we may try to stop the natural flow of events by unconsciously restricting these movements. So we stop our breath as a way of attempting to bring life under our command. And because there is such a strong tendency to restrict the movements of the breath, the second step in reclaiming the breath is to begin to notice how we are preventing the breath from entering and leaving the body freely. And neither step involves great effort, adding anything, but both require the cultivation, self-awareness, or self-reflective consciousness.